Hi guys, I've got a story to tell, and I feel to tell this story because it's got a happy ending, and we probably all need a story with a happy ending right at the moment. And at the same time, I've got this little bit of flint which I'm going to be working on, and what I intend to make from it is something called a discoidal knife. When I was a kid, I used to make these. There was a good way to learn how to flint knap, and not very big, and because it's a round circle, a flat bifaced circle, it's more unlikely to snap in half. So we'll have a go at that. Pull this chair around a bit, and I'll tell you the story while I make it. The thing about the story and the discoid is I always used to wonder what they are. And they're a great tool for skinning an animal because there's not a point to go through the skin. And if you want to wear the skin, then that's great. Could also be thrown like a throwing star, but I don't think so, you know. Anyhow, about 15 years ago, I might have to come a bit closer, it's sort of one thing or the other. You either see me talking or you don't see the product. 16 years ago, I came to live in this little area called Rougham, and one of the reasons I chose to live here is that when I came looking at the house, I noticed that people were actually talking to each other, which was rather nice. And I thought, well, that's a nice little community area to go and live. And when I first came here, I had a Land Rover Defender. Good vehicle. You all know them. And I used to have a mechanic where I did live, but that was quite some way away. We got on great, but I needed a new mechanic, and I went down to Bury St Edmunds, which is local, and I found a company called Mansfield 4x4. So I drew in, made me laugh because it was a bit like a Defender's scrapyard. The whole car park was full. There was nowhere for the nowhere for the customers to park. Well, there was, but you know. So I went in. They were really friendly people, and they fitted me in, did the job, and nice flake. Put that one to one side. Yeah. And time went by. I kept using this company. I was happy with the quality of the work, and because they were always so genuine and nice, I decided it would be nice if what I did was sort of, they used to knock the bill down and all sorts of things like that. So I thought, well, when you go in there, stick a little bit of money in their Christmas fund box. And that's what I used to do. Sometimes you'd go in there and they'd be a little bit busy. Oh, come in, Will. Go in the kitchen, make yourself a coffee. You have to go round the back and go in their kitchen. Personal belongings in there, trusted you. And it was really just a heartwarming place to go in, and I enjoyed going in there. I used to go in there and have a good laugh and a banter. They'd take the mickey out of me, you know, oh, here comes the caveman, and I'd take the mickey out of them, telling them they're overpriced and the work was shoddy. What a nice flake, look. And time went by. Now, my old Land Rover, that had got to 250,000 miles, 250,000, and I thought it's time to get rid of this. And I ended up buying a Land Rover from one of the mechanics in there, which went on to give us all a brand new laugh because he sold me a shoddy vehicle. It was alright. And I used that and their company for some years to come. Now it came to a point where I decided I was getting one of my staff a Land Rover, and I went and got one, but at the same time I was thinking about selling mine, so there's lots going on all at the same time. Now a bloke down the road from me who used to deliver the firewood, nice little community thing going on, you know, he said to me, "You want to go and see this other fella?" He said, "He's a lot cheaper." Now I didn't really have any ears for that because I was happy with where I was. And just checking I've got the video running, because the other day I told a story and there's no one there. But when I went to sell mine, there was not just a couple of bits that needed repairing on it, but a few £1,000s worth, right? So I went and I saw this other guy, and he sort of said, "Yeah, I can fix it up," and did it at an astonishingly low price, you know. And again, a nice bloke, right? Nothing wrong there. And I thought, well, maybe I should go over and get my car fixed here, because, you know, every penny counts sometimes in your life. And so that's what at that point in time, I did. I let him do the first service on my new vehicle. But in my guts, God, I was like, do you know what? Whenever I used to ring the other company up, "Hello, Will." That's the first thing, right? They know who you are, they know your name, right? They're pleased to hear from you, they like to see you. And I take that kind of thing pretty seriously, because it builds up layers within your social community, who you are. You have a bit of an identity going on. And a few tricky little spots here. And so I went back and I said to Ralph, who's the owner there, I said, "Ralph, I was going to leave and I was going to go somewhere cheaper." And I said to him, "But I'm not, because I value you lot." And I told him, I said, "You know, it was one of them opportunities where you actually talk about what you value, the camaraderie, the genuine care." And I watched him that day, and he looked at me, and I knew that he'd appreciated what I'd just said in a big way. So I carried on with them. And then they really took the mickey out of me, because I actually ended up selling my Land Rover and got a Nissan Pathfinder. To my regret, really. I miss the old Land Rover Defender, great vehicle. And so I was in there one day, and they were saying to me, "How you're doing so great, you've got all these movies out and you've got loads of people following you and everything." And I said, "Well," I said, "you know, it's people like me that should be getting sponsored." I said, "So how about giving me a sponsorship?" And they looked at me and I thought, well, they won't take that seriously, because they're only a little company. And they looked at me and they said, "Well, we'll have a think about it." And they did have a think about it. And last time I went in for a service, they said, "No, we're not going to charge you for the service." I'm like, "What? Not going to charge me for the service?" They said, "No." And I've been in today to get my brakes done. Didn't charge me, they just charged me for the parts at cost. And because they've remembered the journey too. 15 years of friendship. And I can look around and I've got that going on in several areas in my life. And you always hear about people saying, oh, I went to a garage, particularly for the ladies, you know, I went to a garage, they've ripped me off because I don't know what I'm talking about. No. What we're talking about here is a good quality social life built on real built on the heart, you know. And I'm lucky enough to have recognised that and forged that into my life, actually repeatedly. And I could sit here and give you a list of people that I respect and have become lifelong friends with, that I go to for services. I go to them for the service of what they're doing, and I don't just see a face at the counter, I see a human being. And sometimes if they don't see me, I actually make a point of showing them so they remember me. And I think that's important, don't you? Anyway, there's a bit of a big one, right? But that's discoidal knife. And the company I was talking about are in Bury St Edmunds, and the name of them is Mansfield 4x4. And the owner's name is Ralph. So yes, that is a promotion to them, but it's a promotion because it's a jolly well deserved one, of good comradeship and trust and what community should be all about. There you go. So don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell. Cheers.